When you think of sports cars, the brand rivalry between Ferrari and Lamborghini surely comes to mind. For decades, these two titans of the automobile industry have been the embodiment of the supercar, each pushing the limits of design and engineering to create some of the most breathtaking machines to ever hit the road. With history steeped in competition and a passion for performance, what many people don't know is that Ferrari's infamous inability to take criticism may have created their worst rival. So, take a seat and buckle up while we find out how one clutch changed automobile history forever. Ferruccio Lamborghini was a child of two grape farmers in a remote Italian village, and, like many people of his time, his life path seemed to be set. There was just one thing. Ferruccio had other plans. Much to his parents' dismay, farming wasn't on his bucket list. One of his biggest passions was the one for machines. Something about the complex machinations just drew him in, and he was good at it. So, after primary school, he decided to take a risk and focus on his passion, and instead of working on his father's farm, he decided to attend a technical school in Bologna, but his time at the academy would unfortunately be cut short, because fate had something else in mind.
Poland, September 1939. The German foe begins its ruthless march of conquest, and sets the stage for World War II.
When Germany invaded Poland in 1939, there was no way back. Europe was going to war. 23-year-old Ferruccio was drafted into the Second World War, where skills with heavy machinery proved handy. He was soon designated to repair and build different kinds of machines than the ones he was used to. Machines of war. The global conflict ravaged Europe for barely 6 years, but in that short time, the damage had already been done. After the fall of the fascist regime in Italy caused major problems in the country, entire industries were being destroyed, and the land's currency collapsed. People were out of work, morale, and most importantly, they didn't have enough food. The war had scarred the country, and wreckage of military vehicles could be found everywhere. This is when Lamborghini had an epiphany. Why couldn't they just rebuild the tanks that were left to them into farming vehicles? And that's exactly what he proceeded to do. The rebuilt tractors were incredibly successful and quickly made Ferruccio a wealthy man, and in 1948, Lamborghini Trattori was founded. Over the next few years, he would keep expanding the business and was extremely successful. You couldn't talk about engineering without mentioning Lamborghini, but Ferruccio had another passion: fast cars. The top automobile brand at the time was none other than Ferrari, and as a newly rich businessman and passionate engineer, you know Ferruccio had to have one. But the GT350 he purchased didn't live up to his expectations and kept running into technical issues. What bugged him most was the clutch. In his short time of owning the vehicle, Lamborghini, known for being a bad driver, had broken it over 5 times, only to realize that the issue could be seamlessly resolved by replacing it with a clutch designed for his tractors. He decided to take it straight to the top. He wanted to talk to the Ferrari man himself, and chose to visit Enzo Ferrari's very own home in the neighboring village to give him a knock on the door. According to most sources, this is what happened. The meeting didn't go as planned. Enzo Ferrari, who was notorious for being particularly bad at taking criticism, laughed at Ferruccio's suggestions and told him, "Let me make cars. You stick to making tractors." Outraged by this response, Ferruccio vowed, "I'll show you how to make a sports car." Because if there was one thing Lamborghini didn't like, it was being told what he couldn't do. And after leaving the mansion furiously, he had another idea. He immediately gets to work, assembling a team of top-of-the-line mechanics and designers willing to do anything. His objective was simple. He wanted to create the world's greatest car. And he was going to achieve this by doing what Ferrari couldn't. People didn't take this well. They called him crazy and said the success had gotten to his head, but it didn't even take him a year for his very first automobile to be completed. When the GT350 was released, it sent shockwaves through the automobile industry. Lamborghini had done it. He had successfully created his first supercar. When Ferrari got news of this, he was furious according to sources. He had sparked the flame of a rivalry that would shape the automobile industry for the next few decades. Today, Lamborghini is one of the biggest sport vehicle manufacturers in the world, and even though the road may have been rocky, they're still moving the industry forward to the ultimate goal: creating the best supercar.